Most men over 50 can't hold their stance for 20 seconds. Shaolin monks hold it for 20 minutes. That's not strength. That's control. When your legs tremble, your breath shakes, and your mind screams, "Enough!" The Shaolin master stays still. Because stillness is not weakness, it's power. Here's the truth. No one tells modern men. The muscles that hold your posture are the same muscles that hold your erection. And every hour you spend sitting, slouching, and stressing, you disconnect from them. You lose pressure in your core. Circulation slows. Your energy fades. But what if I told you there's an ancient stance that rebuilds all of it? Blood flow, pelvic control, and masculine stability. In just 7 minutes a day? I'm Dr. Helen Carter, men's health and performance coach. And today, I'll show you how a forgotten Shaolin protocol can reawaken the root of your strength. The same root that fuels your confidence, your posture, and your power as a man. Men spend their lives chasing motion. More weights, more reps, more effort. But the Shaolin secret isn't movement. It's mastery in stillness. When a monk drops into the horse stance, he doesn't fight gravity, he negotiates with it. His body lowers, his breath deepens, his pulse steadies. Every muscle from the feet to the pelvis learns one lesson: hold without hardness. That moment of trembling you feel in your thighs, that's not weakness. That's the nervous system rewiring itself, reigniting the pathway between your spine and your root. I once coached a man named Daniel, 62 years old, retired engineer. He came to me because his knees hurt, his back ached, and his drive, both in the gym and the bedroom, was gone. We didn't lift a single weight. We practiced stillness. 3 minutes a day, knees bent, spine tall, breath slow. At first, his legs shook uncontrollably. By week 3, the shaking turned into heat. By week 6, he walked taller, slept deeper, and his morning energy returned for the first time in years. Because when you hold the stance, your body remembers what grounded power feels like. You stop leaking energy and start storing it. So how does this ancient stance awaken a man's core energy? Let's break down the 3 invisible layers that make stillness the most powerful movement a man can train. Every man's strength is built on 3 invisible layers. You can't see them in the mirror, but you feel them the moment they wake up. The first layer is your grounding base, your feet, calves, and thighs. They are more than muscles. They are antennas. When they press into the earth, they send signals up through your nervous system, telling your brain, "I'm safe, I'm solid, I belong here." Without that message, balance fades, and so does confidence. The second layer is the pelvic sling, a web of deep muscles that cradle your organs, support your spine, and control blood flow to your genitals. When this layer weakens, circulation drops, testosterone lowers, and performance follows. But when it's reawakened, every system above it responds: digestion, posture, even mood. The third layer is the breath lock, the invisible bridge between the diaphragm and the pelvic floor. When you breathe correctly, both ends move in harmony. One descends, the other rises, creating internal pressure that powers your core like a hydraulic pump. This is the hidden structure of masculine stability. It's not built in the gym. It's built in the stance, through quiet, deliberate tension that roots you to the ground and connects you back to your primal center. Now that you understand the architecture, it's time to activate it. Through the same ancient sequence Shaolin masters used to forge unshakable control. Now it's time to rebuild your foundation, the Shaolin way. We'll go through 3 phases. Each one unlocks a different layer of masculine control. All you need is 7 minutes, and the courage to stay still. Phase 1, foundation setup. Stand tall, feet wider than your shoulders, toes turned slightly outward, about 15 degrees. Now bend your knees slowly like you're sitting onto an invisible stool. Your thighs should hover halfway to parallel with the floor, not too low, not too high. Keep your chest lifted, tuck your chin slightly to lengthen your spine. Let your arms rest on your thighs or hang naturally by your sides. Now, breathe. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6. With every exhale, imagine the air flowing down your spine into your pelvic floor. Feel it awaken, gently lifting upward, like a quiet wave of heat. Don't force. Don't clench. Just hold. Phase 2. Internal root activation. This is where most men quit, but this is where the transformation begins. Stay low. Shift your awareness to the space between your tailbone and your genitals. That's your root center, the command post for blood flow, balance, and power. As you breathe, feel energy rising from the soles of your feet into that center. Every exhale, imagine drawing that current upward. Your thighs may start to tremble. That's good. That's energy unlocking. Shaolin masters say, when the legs shake, the chi wakes. So don't fight the shaking. Breathe through it. You're teaching your nervous system that stillness under pressure is strength. Stay here for 3 minutes. Deep, steady, masculine breathing. Your body will start to heat from the inside out. Your breath will slow, and the line between effort and calm will disappear. Phase 3. The breath and energy lock. Now, draw one deep inhale. Hold it for 3 seconds. As you hold, lift the pelvic floor gently, just enough to feel the rise of pressure inside. Then exhale slowly, releasing from the belly downward. Repeat 3 full cycles. This is the pulse of power, the ancient biomechanic of control. When you're ready, straighten your legs slowly. Don't rush. Let the blood flow surge downward. You may feel light, almost floating. That's normal. What you just did wasn't a stretch. It was a system reboot, a reconnection between your breath, your spine, and your root. The more you practice it, the longer that connection lasts, in your posture, your performance, and your presence as a man. What you just experienced wasn't magic. It was biology, amplified by intention. When you drop into the horse stance, your body shifts its internal mechanics. Your center of gravity lowers. Your diaphragm expands. Blood is forced downward into the pelvis, the region most men neglect for decades. That downward pressure increases vascular response. Capillaries in the pelvic floor, prostate, and lower abdomen open up, improving circulation where it matters most. At the same time, your deep breathing signals the vagus nerve, the command line between your brain and your organs, to slow the heart rate and release tension. That calm pressure, combined with muscular activation, tells your endocrine system, we are safe, we are strong. In response, testosterone rises. In fact, a 2021 study from Shanghai Sports University found that men who practiced static lower body postures like horse stance for just 10 minutes a day increased their natural testosterone levels by up to 18% in 8 weeks, without lifting a single weight. The science is clear. When the body learns to hold still under tension, it restores balance in the nervous system, reopens blood flow, and reignites the hormonal circuits that define masculinity. Stillness becomes stimulus, calm becomes control, and control becomes power. You don't need a monastery to train this power. You need 7 quiet minutes, anywhere. The best time? Right after you wake up, or after a warm shower when your joints are loose and your mind is clear. Start with 1 minute of grounding, standing tall, breathing slow. Then drop into your horse stance for 5 minutes. Let your breath become the metronome of your strength. Inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6. Each breath sends blood downward. Each exhale draws energy upward. When you rise from the stance, don't rush. Take a final minute to stand tall, eyes closed, hands resting on your lower abdomen. Feel the pulse under your palms. Steady, deep, alive. That's your internal engine, reignited. Do this once a day, every day, and you'll notice changes within a week. your posture straightens, your steps feel grounded, your pelvic control sharpens, not through force, but through presence. This is not exercise, it's alignment. It's a ritual that resets blood flow, breath, and masculine confidence, all in one motionless movement. When you return to your stance, you return to yourself. The ground beneath you becomes your gym, your temple, and your mirror. Most men spend their lives chasing strength outside, heavier weights, faster results, louder wins. But real strength happens in silence. It happens in the 7 minutes when you refuse to move and rediscover what moves within you. When you train the horse stance, you're not just building muscles. You're rebuilding the line of communication between your mind, your breath, and your root. You're teaching your body to hold energy instead of leaking it. You're proving to yourself that calm and control can coexist. Because every time you drop into your stance, you awaken the ancient code of masculine power. Grounded feet, steady breath, unshakable presence. You don't need a gym, you don't need noise, you need stillness and the discipline to stay with it. I'm Dr. Helen Carter, men's health and performance coach. Try the Shaolin Horse Stance tonight. Hold it for as long as you can, and tell me in the comments how long you lasted before the burn kicked in. Let's see how strong your root really is.